Every time we organize events in relation to forestry, there's less attendance. Yet we continue to advocate for forestry. We invest so much in awareness. But in the two towns of Vanuatu, Luganville and Port Vila, I'm not saying that it's not a good thing, but I'm concerned about how the government is. We talk about forestry, and yet we do not take action. With the recent development, for example, the Port Vila urban development, tourism infrastructure, we cut down trees. I'm not sure whether we're doing the right thing or not. The forestry we need to put our actions where our mouth is. We invest, just like today, I don't know how much 1,000 Vatu we spend on this day, and yet trees are falling down without replanting. We've got our Forestry Act that says every time we fell a log, we replant. We do not do that. And I'm calling on the Forestry Department to make sure we apply the law that we pass. The reason why we apply the law is to conserve our forests, or do better. In China, in developed countries, after so much years of development, today they're spending millions to replant. One good thing about Vanuatu is we are slow at our development, which means we can learn from the developing countries, and we should learn. I myself, I'm not saying Vanuatu taking forestry seriously. If we do not take our actions now, conserving in the future, Vanuatu will not be the place like it is now today. The first thing that the government did was passing legislations to have laws in place to force people to replant. But we have to police. We have to police. Otherwise, we're putting things on paper and no implementation. The government today, to be honest, we've been doing. The forestry has been doing a lot with giving out seedlings. That's going out in the rural areas. But in our cities, we have to do that. We have to conserve. I think the government needs to put more resources to the Department of Forestry. The Department of Forestry is one of the departments that has a very small budget, and the Acting Director General and I have been trying to push to put more resources to the department. We need more staff, but the department itself too, starting leadership in the department from the director to the staff, have to take lead of the actions. Again, it comes down to our forestry office. We've got the legislation. It's applying the legislation. We need to start disciplining people so that people learn. People learn that there's consequences to that. For example, lately there have been trees cutting down just 5 meters away from the riverbank. That's not allowed by forestry law, even in the environment. So, like I said today, the government has to take lead. We cannot expect the people to conserve if the government itself is not conserving. Yes, it is relevant, but we've still got a long way to go. I've been telling the Forestry Department last year, I've been calling on our bilateral partners that, see, even logging around Vanuatu, we cut off the trees, we just make use of what we can get the timber out of, the rest is just going to rot. Even the matches we do not produce in Vanuatu. If we are to sustainably utilize our resources, that means if we cut down the tree, we maximize the benefit from those trees, utilize. But yet today we cut, just throw away the rest of it. A matchstick can be produced. We need to value add the other parts of the tree because it takes so many years to grow those trees. The blue water in Luganville now, that's a heartache for me. I've been calling on the department to review, and I think that's been happening now. we're reviewing the forestry legislation because we've stopped export of round logs and we said process. We have to process the timber locally so that we give the job back to Vanuatu. But when they cut those blue waters, they just slap it from foresight and they call it that's processed. And we're giving the job to China from our forest. And then they sell it back to us. We need to go that extra step. That means reviewing our legislation to make sure we stop those people exploiting our resources.
Now we were talking about like cutting down trees, and maybe we should utilize optimize the use of it. But for example, referring to like match, like we don't have any match producing company in the country. So you think that forestry, the government, and with the industries department, we should think about a sort of a roadmap in the use of forestry resources?
Yeah, that really falls. It has to be a joint effort from the Ministry of Agriculture and the Department of Industries. I've been calling on UNIDO to do some projects on that front, trying to maximize or fully utilize the remaining part of the tree that we fell to get the timber out of, but the rest is thrown out. But still, I'm waiting from a response from UNIDO. But I wish that one day we can produce a simple thing like a matches in Vanuatu, because every house have to have a matches.